Welcome back to OneStopTutorials.com. Monsieur Alibaba back again from sunny Chiang Mai, Thailand. How you doing, everyone? Great to be here. Now, what we're going to get into now is we're going to get into and this is quite an important thing, because inside of the library, this is where you're going to be storing all your files, your symbols, your things like that. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. What I want to do is I first want to show you the actual icons for the different symbols. So I'm just going to make three shapes here. Doesn't matter what they look like. Okay, I'm going to grab my selection tool. I'm going to select around the first one. Okay, and as we knew from the previous tutorials, the shortcut to convert this shape into a symbol is F8 on your keyboard. That will allow us to convert it. The first one, I'm going to make a movie clip. Okay, I'm going to hit OK. The second one here, I'm going to again F8 on my keyboard. I'm going to change this one to a button just so you'll be able to see the name and the icon. And then the last one here, what am I doing? F8. I'm going to change this one to a graphic. Again, I'm going to name it graphic. And I'm going to hit OK. So you'll now notice that each symbol that we made, you'll notice that it now comes up into the library. Okay, and we've been over the library a little bit, but I just want to show you a bit more in depth about it. Now what we have here is you'll notice that the button symbol has like a button icon, the graphic has this icon, and the movie has this icon. Okay, so this is a good way in Flash of noticing which symbol is what. Okay, so what you can do in here, this is where you would bring your bitmap files and any other graphics that you want to use inside of Flash. They will all come into this library area, and when you get into some big projects, it'll be a bit like working in Photoshop. You'll have many layers. You'll have many graphics, many symbols and things like that. So what you can do is you can actually put these in certain folders. So coming down the bottom here, you'll notice we have a little folder icon. Simply left click on that. What you can now do is name it. So I'm just going to put test. Okay, and what you can do is grab each one of these or individual ones. So I can click on the button one, I can left click, drag that in, or I can select a couple by clicking on one, holding down Control or Command on my keyboard, left clicking again, and that will allow me to select multiple ones. Okay, so you'll now notice we got a little folder with a little arrow here, and that will show us the files inside of it. I'm just going to click on the top one, hold down Shift, click on the bottom one. That will allow me to select them in line. I'm just going to drag that out of the folder. I'm going to select the folder and I'm going to hit delete. So if you want to, let's say you wanted to create a new symbol. Okay, now I've shown you ways in the other tutorials how to do that, but what you can do is you can come down to this little icon here, this little folder here that says new symbol, left click on that, and again this same create a new symbol dialog box will come up, and all you do is basically name what you want. So I'm going to call this one Alibaba. Again, choose the type that you want. Let's just leave it as graphic. Now what happens when you hit OK is you'll notice that this blank screen comes up. Well, what this means is now you would apply your shape or whatever you want to make as that symbol. You apply it inside of here. Now remember these little links up here, you'll notice that we're inside of the Alibaba. We made a graphic because this is the symbol of the graphic. I've now made my shape, and I'm actually going to disfigure it just a little bit just so you can see. All you need to do then is come back to scene 1, and you'll notice it's not actually on the stage. The reason it's not on the stage is because at present we haven't actually put it onto the stage. Okay, so you all know how to do that. Here it is, Alibaba, the graphic symbol. Left click, drag that onto the stage, and there you go. You've now added your symbol. Okay, so that's how you create a new symbol. You have to create a new symbol, name it, and then come into the area where you actually add the symbol. Now what you'll notice here next to all of these, you'll have a number 1. Okay, that is because at the moment each one of these, so the Alibaba, the button, the graphic, and the movie, each one of these are actually on the stage. If you watch Alibaba and you'll notice there's a 1 there, as soon as I come to delete this, you'll now notice there's a 0. So what the system is telling you which actual symbols or bitmaps or whatever you have in here, it's actually telling you how many of those are on the stage. So if I was to grab another button, left click, drag it on there, you'll now notice it says 2. Okay, so this comes in quite handy. This is the use count, and it allows you certain information. So I'm just going to delete that. Let's say you wanted to actually delete some symbols. Okay, there's many ways of doing this. You can click on the one you want to delete, right click, choose delete. That will delete it. I'm just going to do a Control or Command Z, bring that back. Another way of deleting it is come down here to the dustbin, left click on the dustbin, and that will delete it as well. Again, Control or Command Z will bring that back. Another way of doing it is coming up to this little arrow here, left clicking. It's actually out of your window here, but there's a little thing, there's a link that says delete. Again, that will delete. Or you can quite simply just click on it and hit delete on your keyboard, and that will delete it. What you also have here is you have a little eye, and this is the properties for each one of these actual, at the moment, are symbols. Okay, so you can click on this little eye. This is the properties, and this will just basically tell you what it is. So at the moment it's a movie clip. You do have the choice of actually changing it from a movie clip to, let's say, a button. If you notice here, it's a movie clip. As soon as I hit OK, you'll notice now the icon has changed to the button. Okay, and that's pretty much it. I mean, we're going to be using these quite a lot. Okay, we're going to be using it a real lot. This is where you're going to be storing your files. Think of this like the layers palette in Photoshop, or your file palette inside of Dreamweaver. We're going to be coming in here, we're going to be deleting, we're going to be adding, we're more than likely going to be adding folders. So anytime you bring something to Flash, as in graphic wise or symbol wise, it will end up in here for you to be able to see it. Take it easy, guys and girls. I know this is a basic tutorial, but I have to add it to the collection in the next tutorial. I think it's time. The time has arrived for us to start getting into doing some timeline stuff. Take it easy, guys and girls. Catch you at the next One Stop Tutorials.